Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is Saturday as we play, and that means that it is Star Wars Saturdays, my ongoing anthology series of tabletop RPGs set in the universe, the galaxy of Star Wars. We are currently in a quarterly, meaning we're playing several months of one particular game. That particular game is Apocalypse World Burned Over from Vincent McGay Baker. The Burned Over is the third iteration of Apocalypse World, a role playing game using the Power by the Apocalypse system. And Burned Over is not a fully fleshed out game. It sits on top of Apocalypse Rules Second Edition. So there are times when Burned Over doesn't have rules for that thing, and you need to jump back to the source, which is Second Edition. That's a-okay. I got a bunch of PBTA veterans here, and we figure it out. Speaking of veterans and figuring it out, let's do a quick round the table to remind ourselves of our players and our characters. I'm going to start on the lowest rung of the totem pole in Kismet, which means I'm starting on the right hand side. See, Steve was nodding because he knew Maz. Hard Luck Maz was the character that would be introduced first. Steven, if you could introduce yourself and remind us a bit about your character.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Maz Vandrix, who is a basilisk who it's one of those guys we saw in the prequel in the diner with four arms. And Maz is the proprietor playbook, but has presently his mobile food truck has been destroyed, and he's got the crap beaten out of him by a Raftar and bandit attacks, I guess. So yeah, he's not doing great, but luckily he's in the uh healing hands of Olin. So and other than that, his food truck trades in, food and miscellaneous barter and that kind of stuff, but also in secrets. So he's kind of the gossip monger.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so very much. Speaking of healing, we're going to drop back to second edition for the idea of a med kit. So that med kit is we're going to use that to get you to 6 o'clock, and then you'll have to heal from 6 o'clock to 0 o'clock, meaning perfectly healthy over time and rest, which I'm sure you will do, of course, like a good patient. Thank you. So, speaking of patients, let's talk about your doctor. Greg, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Alin Trezic, also he, him. Alin is a Corellian. He is the son of, it's not son. He is the brother of Kel Trezic, who is a bounty hunter traipsing across the universe. Alin joined the New Republic Medical Corps, and after you crash 100 starships into the surface of a planet, you should send some medical staff there to, clean stuff up. He's here. He's way in over his head. Confronted uh, Aza. Gonna get it. Confronted Aza about sending her people up against the Raftar that was gonna just, you know, tear through them. And guess what? And then helped Maz in Maz's plan to pull it off, and then got attacked in the ambulance. It's been a day for Olin. Um, and so happy to be back at the medical facility with my excellent medical team. What could go wrong from here?
What could? I'm sure we'll find out. Next up is our sweet little kitty. Uh, hey, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, I am Kay of the She and They Variety, and I am playing Rero Variasan, the volatile he, they. He is a Cathar kind of merc, who's found himself in a bit of a strange position. He was raised on an Imperial ship as part of a little attack squad, ditched during the burning of Jakku, because living, thank you, and has worked as a merc ever since. And that is a hard life. But as of right now, he's got a 5 in barter and has all this extra money that doesn't need to immediately get allocated to somewhere, and he doesn't know what to do with it, and is just walking around with a bunch of cash. He recently helped a deal go through that might have caught the eye of the Duchess, who seems interested in him somewhat, which and has recently also brokered a contract with Aza for some room, board, food, and 10% of a money haul on whatever they're doing right now. He doesn't actually know what's going on, but he'll just stand there and punch things.
Punch with claws, though, I would imagine.
Punch with claws.
And returning to us is Brandon. Welcome back. If you could introduce yourself and remind us of your character who saw briefly in session 1.
Yes, so Darya Bandara is the youngest member of the Bandara clan here on Jakku by about 5 minutes. She is twins with Koi. And she appears to be young and relatively naive, but there is a calculating brain behind there, as well as nascent, somewhat trained force powers as a seer. So her she doesn't make any decisions for the Bandara clan, but they don't make any big moves without asking her what she thinks. Recently, she came to the attention of Nima the Hutt, and upon meeting her, Nima said that you're going to be my seer. And while Daryi was considering that, her escort was shot down by Ainvina Bandara, I believe you said.
No, actually, it's Yelsa.
Oh, by Yelsa, excuse me. By Yelsa, who said, come with me. And that's where we left things.
Yes, indeed. A big cliffhanger there that we will work to resolve during today's session. Last but not least is our short timer, because Undish will have to duck out at some point early in the game. But you get to introduce yourself last, and we will pick up with you. So we definitely get some play in with you, Undish. But if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Aza Starbreaker, she, her. She's the Monarch playbook. She runs a crew of Jakku locals, laborers, and recently wanderers. A couple of people who are at least planning to travel around, do some trade sort of thing. We're currently working together with a character who isn't here on fixing up an old soldier.
True. We need to figure out if we want to talk through how yeah, I think we got other stuff that you can work on rather than being stuck to that piece. We can pick that up next week. Sweet. So I don't adore this, but I do think with you know what? If I don't adore it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the start of session stuff again this time around with the talking about what's easy and what's hard, because I still don't understand what it means. So I'm just gonna roll forward with it. Cool. So let's pick up with Aza. And I think Aza, with the possibility of Maz showing up, though you're really injured in the infirmary. So I'm gonna pocket or like pause on Aza and let's talk through the resolution for Maz's injuries. So again, Healing is via space magic, healing touch, or question mark in Burned Over. Therefore, we go back to second edition, which again is going to cause some a little bit of weirdness because in Burned Over, barter is a stat that you roll. In second edition, barter is a like kind of trackable number. It goes up and down. So here is what I think makes sense. There is an angel kit. This again was a little bit of a conversation we had near the end of last session. There's an angel kit. It's a med kit, has all kinds of crap in it: scissors, rags, tape, needles, clamps, gloves, chill coils, wipes, alcohol, injectable tourniquets and blood slower, instant blood packets, tubes of meat mesh, bone pins, insight injectors, biostabs, chemostabs, narco stabs in quantity. And even a roll of heart jump shock patches for when it comes to that. Enough to fill the trunk of a car. So when you use it, you spend its stock. You can spend 0 to 3 of its stock per use. You can resupply it for 1 barter per 2 stock. So with your new move, with your new move, Moss, I keep looking at the bottom right-hand corner for Steven. I'm now going to reorient the Zoom windows so that my brain will line up with my mouth, or vice versa. Moz, with your new luck, you now have 1 barter. So I'm going to assume we're going to use that up, not forever, but for this session, you'll be rolling with 0 barter. That gives 2 stock. And you, because it's not rolled with a stat, it's just rolled with the stock per use. You can make that roll, or you can trust in your medic.
I'd rather the
Technically, it's
medic make
supposed
the
to be.
roll.
Do what? Okay.
Technically, it's supposed to be what?
Technically, I think it's supposed to be the angel kit is in the angel's hands, which is the medic.
Yeah.
So to use to stabilize and heal someone at 9 o'clock or
And this is,
past.
in Star Wars terms, this is just Bacta, right? This is,
Yeah.
slap the Bacta pad on me and yeah. And that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So am I rolling +2?
You are rolling +2.
Okay. Hang tight, Moz. It's an 8, so kinda.
Cool. Okay. I'm putting this in. Sorry, it's another one of those where THs come out as weird little boxes and
Ooh,
FIs come out as a weird. Yeah, so I'm retyping it.
turning. Okay.
All right. So if you check, did I put it here? Did I put it? Hold on. I was trying to drop it into our moves tab. And it's there in gray, but you can't do it in the drop downs because I stuck it in the wrong area. Med kit. There are on a 7 to 9. On a hit, you stabilize and heal to 6 o'clock, and you choose 1. I'll drop the options into Zoom chat if that's easier for you.
That works for me.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I can see a note. Okay.
Okay. Cool. The pain and drugs make them babble the truth to you. Ask them what secret they spill. They fight you and you have to narco stab them. How long will they be out? They respond very well to treatment. Recover 1 of the stock you spent if you spent any. They're at your complete mercy. What do you do to them? Their course of recovery teaches you something about your craft. Mark experience. They owe you for your time, attention, and supplies, and you're going to hold them to it.
That's awesome.
I got it. If the pain and drugs makes them babble the truth to you, what secret do you spill, Maz?
I used to be an Imperial. Let me check the safety and roller. Can I use the slavery term? It's an ask first. I used to be an Imperial indentured servant. Is everyone okay with that?
Okay. Allen is less likely to narco stab you now.
And whenever the fight over Jakku happened, and crashed. This is how I made my way in the world.
You escaped.
Yes.
So I want to put a little finer point on it. You were a slave or were a slaver? So just checking.
Oh no, we're a slave. We're
Okay.
we're a
Okay.
servant. Yep.
I think it's pretty clear that Rero was a slave as well, whether Rero would admit to that. So that's very interesting. Okay, cool. Who was your owner?
It was uh
Recommendations. Nima the Hutt, Unkar Plut, Duchess Salde Kados. Those three first hop up to me. You could have also been a slave of the Struss clan.
my initial thoughts were that I was a slave of the Empire.
Okay.
They were using me for heavy labor. And the mess that just happened over Jakku is what allowed me to escape. My concern about any of the people you named off is that
Let's change the timeline.
well,
Definitely.
and there's not a way that there's not an event where I could have escaped from them.
Good point. I think then there's no way you'd be a slave of the New Republic, so slave of the Empire. It gives you a connection to Rero. If you guys ever, sat down over a meal, had a conversation, got sick on poisoned like a beast, something like that.
But to tie it into some of the NPCs, if I'm not mistaken, there's no, that's a New Republic. Never mind. Do we have any Empire people in the NPC list?
Deng Walton used to be an Imperial. But he's New Republic now. He swore the allegiance and everything.
So he knows that's who I looked at. He knows that I used to be an indentured servant.
Yeah, I think Alden patches you up and wakes you up slowly.
Let's even say that Ding Walden was in charge of me. So whenever I wake up, I tell Olin, yes, Walden, I'll be right there. I'll be able to lift the heavy thing. Just give me a second, and I'll be right there.
Oh, Maz, Walden's not here. Walden's not here. How do you know Walden?
You say that, but he's everywhere, and I'll do the job. I'm good at it.
Alden turns to Aussie, the medical droid. Yeah, just keep an eye on him.
And I think as I come to, I'll think I'm in the wrong place. And you said, what was the droid's name? Mozzie?
Aussie.
Aussie? I actually pick Aussie up, as if I need to carry them somewhere before I realize what I'm doing and then put them back in.
She does not appreciate that.
Hand me, you brute.
And that's whatever I kind of come to and I'm saying, oh, sorry, oh, Olin, did you patch me up? Is everything okay?
Yeah, Maz, I want you to take it kind of easy for a couple days. I was a gut wound and a couple blaster bolts. So just take it easy. Don't get in any more firefights, okay?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think we need to go back out and see what we can recover from the from my food truck. And
Yeah, Matus recorded the location. So this is where you're headed back to. Hands you a data crystal or whatever.
don't you have an ambulance that we can go back in?
I don't know how much you remember, but it's gonna take a little time before I'm really willing to put that thing back out there.
Okay.
Took a hit.
Well, I'll see what I can do to get us all square.
Specialist Mira, I think, is like across the ward from you, and she's in whatever the the Star Wars equivalent is of several splints.
Oh yeah, she got pretty messed up.
She got pretty messed up, and she would be the one to repair the ambulance. So, do you know anybody who might be able to repair an ambulance?
I know a lot of people,
I know
but
you do.
right now I don't know that any of them owe me enough to repair an ambulance. But I'll do what I can.
All right.
Cool. So that's great. It's a little scene to get Maz healed so that Maz now if you wish, you could potentially show up in the Aza Starbreaker scene, which I said we were going to start with, but lied. So now we're there. Do you imagine you're spending time at the site, Asa? Or are you just leaving that to your new partner?
I think I'm going back and forth probably. Uh, with the wanderers we have now, I think they're traveling a bit. And without Moz here to run the food truck where I usually get a lot of my information, I have to go get it somewhere else. And we're a bit out of the way. So I need to go to the various settlements to get my info.
Ooh, fun. Okay. So, do you have any moves that you've taken that Grapevine, I think you have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we should
But
start with devotion as well. I feel like enough time has passed
okay.
for the situation to potentially change with Aza. You guys got a new find, everything to do. I think, yeah, you guys are secure and stable now that you've got a raring to go.
That's plus 4, that's 2. That's a 5. It's still, everything's a mess.
Nice.
Oh my, on a miss, all of their demands are true. Let's remind ourselves of the demands that are made by your people.
That's R&R and solidarity for the laborers. It's discipline for the guardians, and it's provisions for the new wanderer.
Provisions. Oh, interesting. Ooh, this is delightful. Okay. Yeah, this will impact you, your character, Kay. I think that the guards, now that you're here, they're just you're getting a full share. You have to do so much more work. So their
Oh,
discipline is just pushing things off on you. No, no, you could run another hour. Don't worry, we'll bring you back some food. Oh, I'm sorry, it melted. Just
Rero would not. I like. It's totally cool that this is happening, but Rero would not tolerate that.
nice. Well, we will set that up in just a second. I'm
Cool,
just
cool.
talking through that. That will be the situation you find yourself in, Rero, with the guards, which is Draff and Tix Tristel. No, is it Tistrel? Tistrel. I love these names. So Draff and Tix Tistrel are the two guards who are trying to haze you a little bit. That's their discipline problem. R&R for the laborers and solidarity. I think the laborers at this point, um, yeah, they're less. They want to sit tight. You've got somebody working the assault craft. You've got guards for that. They need to rest, and every one of them say it. Like they're together on that. Um, and your wanderers, have come back after scouting out Boomtown, and they need food and supplies. They're demanding Maws. Ooh, they're not just demanding Maws. I think of your wanderers, I think Barris is like they're going to go out and find Maz's skiff, pick it clean, and then bring back the scraps to Maz.
Ooh.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Your laborers have kipped up at a place in Nema Outpost to stay. Like they're going to rest. They're mostly hanging out at a bar and then going to the hotel and sleeping through the day most of the time. And Barris and Urus have decided they're going out into the desert to collect from Maz's skiff while the guards are guarding. Yeah, so there you go. What do you do?
Well, think I need to deal with a well, I need to deal with the guard situation, but I'd like to get in something with Moz and or Olin before we do that because I haven't had any scenes with them
What
really.
if we pick up with your wanderers coming upon the skiff about the time that Maz comes rolling in? And how's Maz getting out there? Is that a thing
So
that Olin's helping out with?
no, I actually love the idea. Asa said that they're having to go back into town occasionally. So I'm looking for a way to get out, and it just so happens that there's, pretty frequent paths. So I can hop a ride to get out there on one of the supply runs coming back.
Yeah. I don't think we really have any vehicles because there are options that add that sort of thing. So I think we're hooking it.
Oh, that's wicked.
Or we could I think yeah I was thinking like yeah we could bring something up but that should probably go to a roll or something. Uh, so yeah I think where there's a lot of walking back and forth just bringing water and whatever to from Lima outpost up to the salt crack.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand, Aza and the Wanderers are literally wandering out in the desert to come upon the skiff. Maz, you're catching a ride?
Um, if the supply train is walking, then I'm just going with them.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Sweet. So you guys travel along and you come upon the skiff. It's over on a side. You actually there's a litter of spaces where the rotted meat used to be. Where there's little bits, grease spots, and the like. It's soon enough. Like it's been maybe a day. Um, Maz, you're still at 6 o'clock. Have you adjusted your clock, by the way, for harm?
I did.
Cool. And then you come to the skiff. It's fallen off to its side. There's a bit of sand that's swept over it. Um, and as Asa, I assume you've got your wanderers with you. Maz, he's lumbering along with you. 4 or 5 of you. You hear sounds coming from the skiff. What do you do?
Um, there's also a big Raptor body here, correct?
Uh, yeah, I think you end up passing the Rathtar body at one point.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's not much of a Rathtar body, right? It's going to get eaten by scavengers.
Um, So I hear noises coming, and I'm like, somebody's in there. We got to help them. So I go up and I start digging in through the wreckage to try and get them out.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So you head up towards it, and um,
So,
yeah, yeah. Asa, Moz is just running right up there. You got to do something about that.
yeah, I think I'm going to send the wanderers like out to keep watch to make sure nothing worse shows up. But I'm going to be right behind Moz and try to make him slow down. Like we don't know who or what that is. Be careful.
And I kind of
Cool.
slow up, and I'm like, we've got words, Asa. So you know, I think, yeah, let's read a sitch. I have something about let's reading a person. But yeah, let's read a sitch and see what's going on.
Amazing. You're actually. Oh, it's read a person where you get to your benefit. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. What is read a sitch?
Still sharp, right?
Is it? Yes. Okay.
Roll plus sharp.
That is a 5.
Oh goodness, guys. Just starting off with all the misses. Okay.
Asa, would you like to help me?
Ooh.
Um, because I'm not looking in the correct place. Maybe your wanderers know where to look correctly.
That's interesting. I'm not sure I can help you enough.
No, that's the cool thing. The way that
Oh,
help
yeah, I can
works.
do other things. Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So that means I roll HX. HX with Mars is +3. Ah, yeah, I'll absolutely help. Um, that is a 10.
Delightful. So what I'm going to do for this help, because if I choose the most suitable, weren't able to make the attempt. Now they are +1 to their roll, +1 hold. I think what I'm going to do is let you roll effectively like rolling with advantage. So roll a single die, and you can replace either of the 1 or the 3 that was rolled by Moz.
Cool. I roll die, and that is a 1. So, no.
No, the help is no help.
Ask a question. Be prepared for the worst.
It also under help someone if you get a 10 or a 10 plus, you get +1 HX with you on your
Oh
sheet.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
catching that. Good,
Yeah.
good job.
Which means I roll over, right?
Yes, if you go to +4.
I go to a +1, and is that a full improvement? Or is it
It is a full improvement.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Again, this is Rich's hack of the
Yeah, yeah,
XP
yeah.
system he
No, no,
didn't
no, no.
like. So
Not
feedback
complaining.
on this of like we're advancing too fast is absolutely legitimate, and I'll take a look at um ways to tweak it. So, um, please, you may ask a question, but be prepared for the worst.
That's Steven, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. What should I be on the lookout for?
Ah, cool. So I don't think Moz has any clue here, but you've got a few wanderers with you. So, even though we have 2 wanderers, I don't have a vibe on Urus, so I'm gonna say it's Barris, who um you guys are moving ahead. You tell Maz to hang back, Asa, and you're already up by the skiff by the time you catch up to him when uh Barris says, Hey, check this spoor. Spoor. Uh um I think these are, and that's when you hear a screech and a uh reptile comes out of the area, pops its head up with its beady eyes, and then scream calls, and that these leathery winged reptilian creatures come out in a swarm toward you guys to protect their find. Ripper Raptors! And you are now dealing with a swarm of river raptors coming towards your little motley crew. We'll cut away from that and imagine like they're coming out like a swarm. You hear these leathery bat wing things. These things are about a couple feet long. They have very sharp teeth, and they have descended upon Maz's not rotten meat, because the Rathtar wasn't there to run them away. Going to cut to Brandon with Dari Bondara. You had taken a position with Nima, didn't really have much option to agree or disagree. You were given the position. And then as you settled into what was a nicely appointed room, one of your cousins, Yalsa, who recently left the Bondara clan, stunned the servant who had shown you there, and she reaches out, grabs your hand, and says, "We got to go.
What the heck?
You don't want to work for her."
I was going to giving her visions. Best way to manipulate her into doing what we want.
Well, that's one of your bad ideas. And she tried to pull your wrist. She's not listening to you. You're small. You're young. She thinks you're unwise, even though she might be wrong. And the rest of the clan often listens to your advice. What do you do?
Well, she shot my escort, so that circumscribes my options here.
It does. She's not very thoughtful.
No, I'm going to try to read the situation,
Lovely.
see if there's a way of extricating from this.
Ooh, cool. Go ahead and read the sitch. That is a sharp, unless you've got a move that lets you roll with something else.
I have moves that let me roll with weird for a bunch of things, but this is sharp, and I got a 7.
Got a 7. So with a 7 on read a sitch, you get one question. I have to answer you frankly.
What's my best way out?
Let's define what out means. Best way out of here, or best way out of being pulled out of here?
No, there's not going to be a lot of explaining away with the dead escort. So
stunned escort.
Oh,
not
stunned
dead.
escort.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that was clear.
No, that's fine.
So do you
narratively
yeah.
It makes sense that I go with her. So the best way to get out of this situation without getting grabbed by Nima's thugs.
Right.
That would be the worst outcome.
Yes, it would be the worst outcome. You scan the room, and of course, you're paying attention as you came in. There are no ducts. You're not going to die hard your way out of here. The sewers also do not appear to be an option. However, there are, you've noticed, several servant hallways so that they don't bother Nima. And that will be your best way to obfuscate your exit. But you need to do it quickly. Now, the good news is because you're acting on if you act on this answer, you get a +1
Right.
to do so.
I give her a look that would that would curdle yak's milk and say, "You're ruining this. Come on, let's go."
Nice. You'll thank me later. She assures you, as she's just gotten you into a ton of trouble, and now you're beginning to wonder, exactly why was it that she left the family, or did she leave of her own volition?
Yeah, I'm going
So
to find that out.
you want to lead her to one of the little sliding doors to go through a back hallway that leads out of the temple. Go ahead and take that +1. I'd like to see you um, act under fire here to get out of this place without
Okay.
being seen. You get your +1,
All right.
and you're rolling plus cool unless you have a move that lets you.
Nope. It's
Okay.
just cool. But that's a 6.
Can I help?
Ooh, how the help rules. The one thing I do like is, Brandon, you get to define how could Allen help you pull this off.
Where is Alan?
So all in, I assume because this is sort of was earlier in an earlier session. This is like before any of the action with all in previously. So all in is based out of Nema Outpost. But he has a large territory to cover with his relatively limited medical resources.
So are we doing a little time shifting here, or what,
So
Rich?
I'd like to, if you guys don't mind, just because
Mhm.
sometimes my brain will get a little wobbly with the timey-wiminess. Even though we let off the session with Daryi, I think it is possible that that was happening concurrently with the events
Okay,
of
got
the
it.
second and third session. So Allen's in the situation he's in. He's actually in town still. I think all of those things could still apply. Uh, if you're okay with that, I'd rather you be in the present.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so Olin's busy with River Raptors.
No,
Allen can go out there.
Allen's at his medical clinic.
Okay, well then that's where we end up.
Perfect.
We get down a hallway. We see some guards. We duck to the left, and we are in his clinic.
You hope. We shall see.
Well,
Because
I mean,
Allen needs to roll a check to see if he can help.
whether that helps us escape or not remains to be seen.
Absolutely fair. Got
But
it.
we have popped up in his clinic, and it's now Olin has to cover for us, because there's like I'm gonna posit that a guard is being treated for some minor injury, right? A bite, and a creature
I'm attending
bite.
to my ambulance driver. She
You're
got
right,
into a
a
nasty crash.
creature bite, and so it's
Yep.
someone there's someone there to raise the alarm or report back to Nema, unless you do something.
All right. So here we go. Rolling +1 for our checks because I keep my eyes open.
Right.
Little kid runs into your clinic.
Yeah, and Gilda figures her finger to her lips and shakes her head.
That's a 9.
Okay. So with a 7 to 9 on help. On any hit, the MC chooses the most suitable. Weren't able to make the attempt. Now they are +1 to the roll, +1 hold, roll for it, better roll stands. And Darby had gotten a 6. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
So so I think that with that HX, you can push it to a 7, which a 7 on act under fire is you flinch, hesitate, or stall, offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an unfortunate choice. And I think I was interested in introducing the constable into this scene. So I think that the hard choice here is that if you want to avoid, and this is a hard choice for Darien, if you want
Yep.
to avoid the notice of the guard who is here being treated alongside Allen's driver, you'll need to slip out, which means you walk right into or right up to the constable, who will have some questions for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. So both you and your cousin, Yalsa, you come up from like one of the Well, that's interesting. So Nima's temple has a secret like passage to Allen's medical. I dig this. I'm into this, but we've
I
now
didn't pick the
discovered.
site.
I don't think it's secret. I think it's what you said before, which is it's a servant's passage.
Mhm.
Just so the servants can kind of appear and at the right spots rather than her seeing them scurrying around, which offends her sensibilities.
It's
So
true. It's true.
they have the back hallways that lead to the kitchens and things like that. And of course, there's a door for them to go to the medical facility.
Okay. Okay. So you exit the temple, then quickly make your way to the medical facility, which isn't far from the temple, we now know, which is cool. You slip in there, and that's when you see being treated is a Gamorrean who was bit by I'm sorry, I just want to show a picture of one of these. You may remember it from one of the prequels, but this species called the steel pecker, another Star Wars unfortunate name, but it's the ones that their beaks are so hard that they actually pry open metal objects and scrap for the things within. I thought that was fascinating as a type of scavenger carrion eater. So this Gamorrean was affected by a steel pecker, and they would recognize you, Daryi, but you, Yank, Yalsa, and the two of you head to the receiving.
Ellen assures the Gamorrean that perhaps it's just a hallucination caused by the medication. That is a known interaction for Gamorrean biology.
The bone sticking out, and it's make it work again. It screams at you, screams, squeals at you, make it work again, and it flops around a little bit. Um, and yeah, all of you try to help. Daryi maybe gesture, you keep the attention of the Gamorrean guard, and then Daryi and Yalsa, the two of you, head to. Is there we should at some point, Greg, because Rich can't help himself. I'd love to have a map of the medical facility. Maybe we could work that out sometime.
I'll find something.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. So we'll just say that there's some kind of receiving area where Daryi, Yalsa, when the two of you slip out, um, you see that seated in one of the chairs, feet up on the table, reading a data pad and sipping, much like the picture that we see, sipping from some kind of drink, is the purple skinned Constable Landry. Constable Landry is a recent appointee to the constable position, a recent arrival. You can see that his clothing is not covered in sand and all looks new, but not right off the rack new. Like new as in I've worn this for a month or so to wear it in. Um, what is it about Constable Landry that Daryi finds interesting or attractive?
Um, I think his outfit is really put together. It shows evidence of like hand tailoring from the uniform that he's supposed to do, embroidered stitching, or something like that. He used to be a courtesan, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I think, so I think he still has that extraordinary attention to style. Um, maybe he has a shade of eye makeup.
Mm, yeah, I like it.
To make his eyes, more prominent. Um, that sort of thing, or a subtle ring or two on his fingers.
Nice.
All made to make him look uh stylish and classy.
And he doesn't smell like sweat.
No, he smells. Yeah, he smells like he doesn't like he doesn't perspire, which is something too.
He looks at the two of you, finishes
Look at
his little
him.
little drink. greets you in Rill. Of course, he doesn't have the sorry, a little bit of Twi'lek lore. So the Twi'lek speak in a language that is accentuated by um, hand signals, but they're from their Leku. It's because they developed this language more recently while being enslaved so that they could speak to each other in ways that uh, their slavers could not understand. He can't make the gestures, so his attempt to speak with you in Rill or to address you in your native tongue, as he assumes, which you make the determination if you can speak it or not. You could probably understand it from some of the older Twi'leks if you weren't taught the language. But he greets you with an honorific.
Koyi and I used to do it for fun.
Nice, nice.
Like, two sisters who would, because that way, mom wouldn't always pick up on what we were saying to each other.
Love it. Greetings, young ladies. I am the constable, here to keep you safe. You look like you are in trouble.
Greetings, Constable. I want to read him.
Oh, sweet. Yes, you certainly should do that.
I look at him, I give him a good, steady look. And then I'm going to roll this weird.
Nice. I think Yalsa maybe knows you well enough to buy a little bit of time, so she does just a little bit of idle chit chat. Oh, yes, we came. She makes up a completely bad lie about her suffering some kind of injury that Allen treated, but she's obviously has no wounds.
That's an 11.
An 11. Holy crap. Cool. So, in addition to the usual read a person questions, which those are available. Read someone questions. I've popped that in the basic moves. You get extra questions. Oh my.
Right. So, brain picker, right? What is your deepest secret fear?
Right now, his deepest secret fear is that he is not suited for this work. And the people are going to get hurt. And he's also like lesser worried that he's going to get killed.
No, this is a good guy. I hate this. Um, how could I get you to escort us out?
Oh, tell him that you are in danger. That does pull him in, right? It will pull him in. He's going to be a good constable. It then also, you're wise enough to know that then is going to put him in direct opposition to Nima, uh, which makes him, like you, a target.
Yes. Excellent. And I got one more. How could I really get my hooks into?
Trust him to do his job. Like genuinely put trust into him. Don't fawn over him. He understands platitudes. He can sniff them out. But if you genuinely say, yeah, here's a thing a constable should do, I'm trusting you to do the thing, your hooks will be into him hard.
So I I give a little sign to my cousin, which is just the very simple, follow my lead kind of thing.
Mhm.
One of their commonest things. And I go up to him and I say, "Thank God you're here. Someone is trying to kill me, and I don't know why. I need to get out of here as quickly. You're the only one I trust to do this.
Takes his
Can you
feet
please
off.
help
He
me?"
stands up. Of course, young one. He slips into Galactic Basic, so he knows that his rill is a little stilted. Uh, I don't know your name. I'm Constable Landry.
I'm Dari Bandaran. This is my cousin.
I know you, he says, and he also kind of strokes under her like, oh, well, obviously I'm famous, but you can tell from the tone that that wasn't exactly a compliment. He says, okay, I need you to come with me. I have a small staff. We can keep you safe. Uh, is she also in danger? So much danger, Gялsa adds loudly. I am also in danger.
Yes, we need to get away from here. We can't let the assassin have another shot. It could be the last. Please.
Puts his arm around you protectively and actually draws out his blaster. It is shiny new, maybe never fired. It looks so good. The power pack just slides in perfectly. Everything about this blaster is flash, and pushes open the door and heads out into Nema Outpost to try to lead you to the small prison. Raro, we pick up with you, and I think you are not. I'm not going to tell. I'm going to ask the son of Jack. Are you out? Are you used to how crazy, dry, hot it is under the Jakku sun?
Oh yeah, Rara loves it. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Awesome. So most of Ace's people would default that they are humans, which means that Draff and Tix, I'm going to say they're both humans, and we pick up Tix has fashioned some kind of hat, like umbrella hat, because his shoulders, he's very proud of his arms. And so he went sleeveless, and now they are beet red. So he has fashioned an umbrella hat to try to keep some of the sun off of his lobster red shoulders. And he's telling you, no, it's your turn. You need to take the next shift. I've got to get some salve on this. I'm going to peel. I know you don't understand this, rah rah rah, but I can't swing a weapon like this. So you need to take the next shift, all right? You
What
got
will you
this.
offer me for your inadequacies?
Uh, not inadequate, and
Your
I'm offering you
inability to
the.
your inability to properly guard your he looks like they're like red lobster skin. Fair complexion is not my job to deal with.
Listen, there's three of us. I'm
Yes,
the one who's in charge, and Tix is like,
which means there's three
actually, I'm,
shifts,
I think, I
and
think
it is now time for the third shift, which is your shift. I took the first shift.
you don't even look tired. We're responsible for keeping this place safe. Collective we. As long as we get it done, there's no inadequacies. You've got this, Ferrero. I'm gonna go
Uh,
kip a bit. I'm gonna.
I go reach out and I put a hand not on the red skin, but like right before it turns red, like a paw there. And like the threat of like a finger sort of hovering over where the red is, like one finger isn't fully curled around the arm position. I'm
Hey,
following a contract. If you do forget, I am not part of your merry band. My contract stipulates shifts in thirds. If you would like to amend that, what are you offering?
Tix, we'll probably come to confront in just a second, but Tix is gonna back Draft's play here and say, yeah, shifts in thirds. You take 3 in a row and we divvy up the night. You're better in the day. Makes sense.
So you are proposing that I will take 3-day shifts and you will take consecutively then 3 afternoon and 3 night shifts. Or split them amongst you.
Tix looks at Draft. Yeah, just that. And he tries to pull himself away from your grip.
I would like to read a person.
Okay. You should do that thing.
Are you lying to me? Let's see. I need to open the roller because that would be helpful with dice.
Only if you want to roll them or see what you've rolled.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous because Raro's rolled really well so far, and I'm enjoying that about
everything's coming up Raro, and you don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to ruin it. Yeah.
I understand.
9. Okay, 9.
Hey, you get a question.
I do get a question. I'm gonna ask a question that's not on the list, and if you object, you can tell me, Rich. Are they full of bullshit?
Are they full? I bet you there's even a question that's like that. So,
Probably.
are they telling a truth? Is
yeah, are they,
yeah.
But I like, are they full of bullshit?
Sure. So they will definitely let you take the next several shifts during the day, and then they will technically be in charge at night. But in their estimation, nothing happens at night, so they can catch a few Z's.
But it's still equal time. I just won't be responsible then.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Raro's amenable with that. He doesn't have a problem with that right now. Raro will take a hand off and say, that is amenable while you deal with your injury. It is not a permanent change in my contract. That must be overseen by Asa. But for the day, I will, and he kind of does this almost cat grin and a fang comes down a bit. I will help you and your delicate sensibilities. A kindness.
How tall do you imagine Raro is?
Oh, God. Oh, do I want him to be okay, I need to look at my picture again. How tall are you? Where is the Gmail where I sent that one picture that I found of him with someone else?
The cute one.
Yeah, the one with the scritchies. Yeah, there we go. Because I think he's okay. He seems like a little taller than the other guy for the scritchies. So I'm gonna say he's maybe, and he was born bred soldier. So I'd say maybe he's like 6'1".
Okay. So I think you're a little bit taller than Draft. So he has to tilt his head up. You're really insulting. I don't really like working with you.
I don't appreciate working with you either. I'm sorry, was that something you thought I did?
You should.
Why? You've proven that you cannot adequately do your job. I have to make up for your shortcomings by working what is theoretically a harder position for longer. And you at first tried to dupe me to simply do it without offering fair trade.
And he's trying to come up with an answer when Hicks says, yeah, I don't like you either.
Again, I don't care for you either. But what does care have anything to do with the fact that I'm working a job? I care for very little.
Okay, we're gonna sleep now. Nap a little bit so that we're ready to go at night.
Yeah, Meryl walks away.
Sweet. The sun is baking down. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page, this is at the like squid-like assault craft vehicle. You are one of the guard. How do you imagine Rero guards a thing?
Um, so he is tactical, so I think he knows like the best sort of perimeters to watch essentially, and does like just a rotation, but he doesn't do the same rotation. I think he has 10 different rotas that he intermixes differently throughout the day, so he's never simply just following the same route over and over. So he has 10 different routes of directions he goes to go from place to place around the site. First he would go in odd numbers, then even, then prime, then and and he would switch it all up over and
My
over.
God, it's so
Um,
complex.
it is. He's efficient at his job. He is tactical and thoughtful. He will not get caught with his pants down.
Nice. So during your second tour of things, Raro, you catch. I think you catch it the first time. You're tactical. You catch like a little light out in the sand in the waste.
Mm-hmm.
It flashes and it's either the reflection of something metal or something else. What do you do?
Mm-hmm. If it was the reflection of something metal, is that just like some scrap, or is that
It wasn't there the previous times you came through. That is what grabbed your attention is
oh cool.
this is new.
I'm okay. This is new. How far away is it?
Sounds like maybe you might be trying to get a read on this.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll read a situation.
Yeah, read a situation.
Um, that is another sharp flame of fire. No.
Ooh. While you're making that roll, don't forget, friends, to mark a stat if you roll it.
Mm-hmm. Uh, so I get a
Delightful.
I failed, but I do get I think I get a question no matter what.
Uh,
As a tactician, in addition, when you read a situation, if you are in a position to see or receive intelligence about an enemy's movements, as a free additional question, ask, "What is my enemy preparing to do?"
nice. Sure enough, what is your enemy preparing to do is the question that you get. And you are asking it, I would assume. So the answer
Yes.
is that that is the reflection of something glass. You believe it to be a scope on a sniper rifle that has just shot at you.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
is that acting under fire to try and not get shot?
no, it is getting shot.
Oh, okay. So I
Um,
just get shot. Okay.
yeah, yep, you get shot. And yeah, I'm going very hard because you wanted violence.
That's
So
fine.
here we go. So telescopic sniper blaster rifle, 3 harm, far loud, high tech. 3 harm you take unless you have some kind of armor.
I believe I do.
You have 2 armor, it looks
I have
like.
2 armor. So then what do I do for the countdown? I apologize. I don't know how.
No, that's okay. It's no problem. So it's 3 harm, but you have 2 armor, so only one comes through. That's one tick on the countdown clock. You go from 0 o'clock to 3 o'clock. But you
Okay.
also need to make a harm move. When you take harm, there's always the possibility that the harm is worse than you thought or that it causes um, a change in the situation. So you make the harm move, which I have under standard moves. You suffer harm, roll minus the harm you've suffered. So you're going to roll -1 because you just suffered 1 harm. 2d6 -1.
6. I'm
Okay.
MC chooses 1.
Uh-huh. Don't forget to mark. There's actually an XP on taking harm, if I remember
Yes.
correctly. So mark that
Mhm.
as you've taken some harm. And yes, on a 6 minus, the MC chooses a 1. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. It's worse than a scene. Take an additional harm. Choose 2 from the 7 to 9 list above. Losing footing, losing grip on what you're holding, losing track of someone or something you're attending to, misnoticing something important. Yeah, I'm going to go with a couple of the 7 to 9 options, which is um, you hear the sound of the blaster rifle just a moment before it burns into 2 armor is significant. So I imagine you've got some kind of like cuirass and some shoulder plate stuff going on. Is that what you're seeing?
Sure.
Okay, cool. It like burns through, knocks you slightly off balance, and when you pop back up to look, that that sniper rifle, the sniper, the look, it's gone. Like they duck down, maybe they're moving. You're not sure how big of a threat this is, and you've lost track of them. Uh,
Cool.
what do you do?
Um, I'm gonna take a look at something. Oh, should I roll dangerous presence first?
What is dangerous presence?
When you enter into a situation, roll aggro. Uh, on a 10 plus, choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. If I have any
I don't,
enemies here.
I
Oh,
don't,
no, that's fine. No, okay, I
yeah, I
misread
don't think
that.
that really, yeah, I don't think that really applies here, but thank you for making me aware of that. I'll try to set signs up with that in,
No, it's okay. And
in
is this a single person or a gang? Because that
Oh,
impacts how.
it's a gang. It turns out there's just one of them has a sniper rifle though.
Okay, so when you do battle against a gang, you count as a small gang yourself. So I'm not sure how
That's
that.
great. What that means is there's scaling involved in battles in Apocalypse World. And if you have a gang going against a single person, that gang may do 2 or 3 harm by default, but because they're one size step higher than a single person, they do plus 1 more. And that single person, if they do normally 3 harm, if they're trying to harm the gang, they do 1 size step less, 2 harm. You, because you are so awesome, Raro, you're on the same level. Does that make sense? And if not,
Yes.
I'll just tell you the numbers when they happen.
Cool, cool, cool. I just want to look at the
That is
numbers.
very rare.
Yes.
And terrifying. You're like Wolverine.
Yeah. Um, I think this is do battle, essentially. He has realized he is under attack.
Uh-huh.
So I think he is going to first and foremost, he realizes there's multiple people. He's under attack. He's gonna pull one of his Molotovs out and try and discern. I guess I don't know if I do one move before the other, and discern which is the best place to throw the Molotov.
Okay. Uh cool. So we have the assault ship. That is where your 2 compatriot guards are, where we have a PC who is an NPC for this and is not going to come out and involve themselves in this fight because they're excited about some kind of scrap related thing. Mr. Bones, who is not going to come out into the fight unless he has to. And you and this gang. So you hear the sound of swoop engines firing as the sniper has hit the mark and now they're going to come in. They're coming in over 2 vectors, so a Molotov can hit one or the other of this group from the Struss clan who think that they have an easy mark. We shall see if they do. You are entering into battle. So, doing battle is interesting because when you do battle with someone, you exchange harm, but first you roll plus hard. And they get 2 against you on any hit and 3 against you on a miss. So please roll 2d6 plus hard. And don't forget, Ferrero, you have not rolled hard, so you get to mark an XP on that when you do so.
6. Jeez Louise.
Oh
Almost
my
good.
goodness. Almost good. You,
All come back to haunt me.
I know. These guys, you know what they're going to say? We were right. You really shouldn't have a full share. A whole lot of big talk. And when it comes to an actual fight, you're not very good at it. So I think that's what they're getting ready to say.
With the 2 and 3 that they have against me, does that get impacted by the fact that I'm a small gang, or is that?
No, it's not gang related. That's a fair question. Gang rules and do battle don't exactly map, but the
Okay.
harm would.
Okay.
So they'll do straight harm instead of extra harm. You'll do straight harm instead of lesser harm. So they get to hold 3, and on a miss, you hold 1 against them. Do you see the committing spins without knowing your enemies? Fight for blood, fight defensively, fight opportunistically, guard someone, seize initiative, +1 hold against enemy, read situation, quick action of any kind. Those are the things you can put a hold on.
Yeah.
I am going to mark their 3.
Okay. I think just straightforward at this point. He is fighting for blood.
That's your 1 for 5 for blood. Okay. Man. All right, their spins are 1 for seize initiative, thinking that you probably won't, which means they get to hit her first. I know, all the 10 pluses. It's just not fair, Raro. Not fair at all. So, 1 to seize initiative, which means whoever spends more to seize initiative does. If you seize initiative, you get near all of these as applicable. Oh, +1 holding. Oh, I see. I forgot that that was underneath seize initiative. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, awesome. So their initiative seizing is going to take a hold against you into the next round if the battle continues. They are doing fighting for blood. You are fighting for blood. So you are spending 1 to inflict +1 harm. What harm are you doing to these folks? I assume you're using the Molotov. What?
I assume they are not closer for other things.
They are
Or
trying not to
closer?
get closer to you.
Yeah, they know better. So yeah, so this is 2 to the environment, fire thrown.
Okay. 2 to the environment is awesome. So the way that 2 in environ harm works in Burned Over is that it does 4 harm to an entire area. That's 1 environ. 2 environ does 8, which means that anyone within the range of that, a normal person, they're dead. 8 harm is their toast. That is a terrifying thing. Is that really a Molotov cocktail? That is so
Really,
freaking
it
scary.
does 4 harm per environ thing. Really,
That's how
wow,
environ works. Yeah, it does 4
that's
harm to
weird.
an
I
area.
thought it was just area effect. What is their third choice, Rich?
Their third choice is to seize initiative, in which they were going to use to carry over 1 hold into the next round.
Fight for blood and seize initiative, and
The 2 for blood
You
and
get
the
1
1 for
more.
seize initiative.
you get a third one.
Okay. 2 plus 1 is 3. That's the 3. 2 for 5
They're
for
doing blood
blood.
Oh, 2
twice.
for blood. Oh, they
Yeah,
go blood
2.
twice.
I
Nice.
put it in chat. Sorry. I will be clear
Sorry,
about that.
I'm-
Yeah, they
I'm-
chose it twice. There's a
Gotcha,
lot of
sorry.
chat going in. My
I was just
apologies.
confused.
Should have been clearer. Okay. Wow, I did not know that a Molotov did that. That is terrifyingly hilarious, actually.
Especially when you're a small army.
Yeah. Cool. I think you basically wiped 2 of them off the map with that Molotov. Okay, wait. Did you say 2 environ or did I miss that? Because I'm looking at the gear and it says 1 environ.
Yeah, but I get +1 to thing because of what I chose for blood, right?
+1 harm,
No,
not +1
plus one
Oh,
harm,
environment.
but
plus
not
one
plus one.
harm. I misunderstood. I thought that the environment
You're right.
was
That's
equivalent
unclear
to
because
harm.
environment and harm are weird. You're effectively doing 5 harm to an area. That's still taking one of them out. It just means they're not a charred husk. They're actually just dead.
Okay, yeah.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
that
you
wasn't.
throw it and one of them comes around on their little swoop bike. It's a jalopy, but it's fast enough, and they've got serrated edges around, like they were going to maybe come in for a swipe, and then the Molotov hits the front of it, sprays all over them. They throw their hands up. We hear a Wilhelm scream, and then an explosion, and they pitch into the sand, and it just rains down fire from the last bits of the liquid. And then they are going to harm you. Several blaster shots, a couple ping off of the assault craft because they're not the best shots and they're moving very fast. But they are a gang that does 2 harm. They fought for blood. That pushes that to 4 harm. You luckily have armor, taking off 2. So you take 2 more harm. You now move from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and you need to roll 2d6 plus 2 to see if this harm move, if things are worse.
5. At least I'm consistent.
Hey, that sucks for you. And I can choose one. I think
Oh, wait, it's
Hmm,
minus the harm you've suffered, not plus.
correct.
Not that that helps me because that still makes this a
Yeah, you go from a miss to a
I mean,
miss.
you get a
So
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah, you get the prize. There's a prize for getting a one in a
you get the
that's right.
no prize. Okay, cool. I think what happens is that the 2 surviving swoop bikes, they come and they like fish around you. One of them is firing a blaster carbine, and the other has theirs set on auto, which means they're spraying and praying, but actually luck out and hit you a couple of times. You take the 2 harm. It knocks you back down onto the ground, um, and you lose your footing. And then they up over the dunes and disappear, but you can still hear them. You just lost visual on them. They are probably moving around, and none of them had a sniper rifle. So that sniper's still out there. At the beginning of this round, the hatch to the assault vehicle opens up, and 2 guards who hate working with you, are coming out into the sun. Let's cut away from that fight to another fight. I know Anish had said he may or may not be back. I don't want to leave you hanging for the whole thing, Stephen. So here you are. Aza is now I'll NPC Aza, and if Undish comes back, then he can step in. Yes, so there are a bunch of these Ripper raptors, a little documented species of flying reptiles native to the planet Jakku. With their leathery wings and keen eyesight, they rode the thermals, looking for carrion. And evidently, you have upset their carrion eating. As they are racing towards you, what do you do?
Um, so we are not close enough. So they've been eating whatever food stuff was in the food truck, right?
Yes.
Um, how far away is the raptor? Raptor?
Oh, the Rathar, what's left of the Rathar, maybe like a football field away. Does that
Yeah,
feel right from when the Rathar was taken down to when the skiff fell?
that sounds
That
fine.
feel- yeah.
And how far away is the squid vehicle?
Oh, great question. I think just a few clicks.
Okay. So I think I'm going to run to the. I'm going to run away. I'm going to run to the Raftar body, hoping to distract them with Raftar meat.
Cool. Meanwhile, Aza and her wanderers are firing at the thing, because that just seems like a good idea.
And is this? So it was nighttime? No, it was daytime before. Is this
Mhm.
happening concurrent with the
I
shots that are
think it
going on?
is. I think,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to like get my sound design guy to like mix in the sniper shot. I think the sniper shot happens as you're running away. Maybe the point where maybe you flinch, but then you realize it's far away from here, you think, or at least it sounds like it's hard to tell from the echoes. I think you have to act under fire, right? You're acting under fire here. You're not digging into endure fire. You're just trying to get the hell away. Please roll
Yeah.
plus
So
cool.
that is cool. That is an 8.
Awesome. Don't forget to mark XP on cool.
Yeah.
On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an unfortunate choice. You can make your way to the Rathtar mead, but you're abandoning Aza and her wanderers who came out here. And at least the NPCs will remember that.
Okay. I'll stand my ground.
Oh, so you don't keep running?
I'm not going to keep running.
Okay.
I'm going to tell them come along, but they don't. So
They
I'll turn
don't.
around and stand up. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Let's see.
Sweet. Then you do not get away, which means
Yeah.
that you do take some harm. Do you have any? You have one armor. Yay! That means you only take one harm from the Ripper Raptors first swipe by you as they try to slice and bite, but continue flying like a bat, you know. Like maybe
So let
that's
me,
seen in Goonies for those who've seen Goonies. If you haven't,
and then
then
I'll
you should
take
go see
the
Goonies.
harm move. Is that right?
Correct.
That is a 7.
Okay. You're rolling better than Raro for this one, at least. I choose one. You lose your footing, you lose your grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something. Do you have a weapon with you? Because I think you drop it.
Okay. So yeah, I think I had, I think I've got 2 weapons. Oh, I've got a cleaver and I've got a shotgun.
Okay. I think the
I think I would have the shotgun out.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So
So
drop that.
yeah, your scatter gun, it pitches forward. You can scramble for it if you want to, but you might make yourself a little obvious. So yeah, the Raptors they swarm past you guys. Aza, her wanderers, they're a little broken and bloody. Um, and I think it's Barris who says she looks at the Rathtar, she looks at your skiff. She's like, "Come on!" And she starts running towards the skiff, thinking, "Hey, if we get in the skiff, we could use it to protect us." And Aza will follow. What do you do?
Um, I'm gonna head toward the skiff and spend my time throwing. They can lay down cover fire, but I'm gonna throw all of the meat out to try and bait them so they get busy eating.
Nice, nice. I'll give you a +1 because they are going to try to cover your play. But let's see. Is this another actor to fire? Or is there another move that we could pull off here?
Um, One option would be, can I do a charm or deceive someone whether or not I distract them
Ooh,
with the meat?
deceiving them with the mate? Sure. Let's see. Let's see if you could pull that off. Oh, it's sort of the same stat, so technically it doesn't exactly change much, but
Okay. Um, that is a 7.
okay. With a 7 again, it is the well 7 or 9. If they don't want to go along with the call out, they could choose to ask for evidence, time, compromise. Yeah. So here's what happens. They fire, Asa and her wanderers, Barris, they're firing at these things as they come swooping back in. They swoop across. You hear one of the wanderers scream out in pain, but you're busy grabbing the meat. You start throwing it out, and a couple of the Ripper Raptors land. They're dead bodies. Like several of the Ripper Raptors have been shot and killed. There are a lot of them, but several of them descend on the meat. And Moz, you know, they'll eat this meat, but if you guys attack them, like if you try to pick them off while they're doing that, then they'll come kill. They're going to come kill you, or try to kill you, and then go back for the easy meat. But if they can just get the easy meat right now, if the shooting stops, if the fighting stops, then they will be mollified for a brief period.
And I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to Asa and the other two and say, and kind of lower their weapons and hand them meat to toss out so that we can distract them. And, I try and push them further and further, and I whisper to them, throw towards the Rathtar so that we're baiting them in that direction.
Okay. Let's. I think it's interesting if you guys just do that. You empty out your larder, throwing me as close as you can to the Rathtar. These things have descended on, all of the profits, all of your meat. The rotten like a beast meat you'd already gotten rid of. This is your good stuff that was still, some of it's still refrigerated and good. They hadn't ripped through everything yet. And you guys get to huddle. We shut down the doors into the skiff again. And it's you, Barris, Asa, and trying to grab the name of the other wanderer here. Urus.
So I turn to Asa and I tell Asa, get on your comms and call your, the rest of your people here to clear us out.
Nice. It's a good idea.
So I think as that fight is happening over in the other area, they're getting comms from Asa saying, "Hey, there's a fight over here."
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh man, oh shit. They come out of the assault ship and they don't come out to help Rero. They're going to save Asa. That sucks.
I'm not suggesting that we screw them over that way. I'm just saying
No,
Asa should
no, but I mean, they're not going to explain, but we're under attack. They're going to say, well, Rero's got this. He's got the big fancy armor and freaking crazy Molotov cocktails and shiny tactical battle rifles, and Aza's our leader. We got to go help her out. Maybe they split. Like 1-1, not split as in go away. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Sweet. Let's slide back to Olin because we haven't seen you for a bit. Maz is settled up. You tried to run interference for Daryi. She slipped out. The Gamorrean, you end up maybe recommended that he go get a cybernetic hand because this thing's in rough shape. Pause. I only suggest that because one of the wishes from previous session was I'd love to cyber people up, and granting that wish to Jolene, but having to give a cyber hand to a Gamorrean is funny to me. But you answer it in Allen's, however you want Allen to answer.
I love the idea of fulfilling that wish. It's like I can't officially recommend this, but I believe that if you go talk to Asa or Zola, they may be able to fix you up with a slightly more suitable replacement. Until then, your function will be impeded a little
Claw
bit.
hand? Laser
mechanical
hand?
Possibly. I can't promise anything, but
Scattergun hand?
absolutely. Whatever. Just get out of my clinic. Hammerhand.
Hammer hand. Yes, he's just gonna walk in, drop the okay. I think the Gamorrean now is convinced of this idea and insists that you remove the hand so that the cybernetic can be attached to meat without the broken hand part in the way.
I let Aussie take care of that. Um,
Ever delightful, sir.
you're disturbing sometimes, Aussie. Um, and yeah, I did roll my sixth sense. And as much as I would love to throw Olin back into the action of this conflict, I want to roll my sixth sense. I want to spend it to get a little bit clue about this kid who just ran through my clinic.
Ooh, lovely. Okay, cool.
for it.
So, Sixth Sense. Beginning of session roll. Anytime you do a session, spend one of your hold to ask the MC what your sixth sense is telling you. I answer with a warning, an assurance, a clue, an insight of some kind. Brandon, this is a question about your character, so of course, feel free if you have ideas, suggestions.
Oh, I
What
do.
would Olin know about Dargi? And then I'll add in some stuff if you
What would he sense about Dargi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This innocent-looking kid is much, much more dangerous than anyone would assume at first glance.
Hmm.
And I think you also pick up that she has
Not wicked, you understand, but
Mhm. But dangerous.
dangerous.
also I think perhaps checking on some things real quick. Oh, line on it. Okay. There's a line on midichlorians. Okay. So then you get the sense that the galaxy is concentrated on Daryi, that she has some kind of power that most people don't even understand.
So Olin, makes his way over to where Dari is being, talking to the constable. Was the constable taking Dari away?
Yeah, he actually showed up here to do a thing, but
Right,
now he
right.
has to play hero. So he's going to go play hero for Dari. You can interrupt if you want. Like they haven't left yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Daryi turns to you and in a whisper, which you hear perfectly, says, it almost seems like she doesn't move her lips when she talks. Who are you and why did you help?
Mm. Olin hears it, and answers, constable. Is this are you here on New Republic business?
Matter of fact, I was here to inquire about the little altercation that took place. Uh, there was a complaint filed about your ambulance, and I need to get some information, but a more important matter has arisen that I need to deal with presently, so I can circle back about that, sir.
Something more pressing than the accident?
Person's life is in danger. I need
Yes,
to get
of
them to
course.
safety.
My driver's life is in danger.
I'm sorry? How
Well,
is that?
after Gindal began firing on us.
Could you tear yourself away from your work to give me a brief statement, as I really need to deal with this, but
Yes.
if you could
I say
come by my office soon, Olin, uh, Mr. Sorry, he would call you Mr. Trazic. If you come by my office soon, Mr. Trazic, I'll be happy to file a report and get your side of the story.
Dr. Trezek. And I will.
Dr. Trazic, sorry. Apologies.
I give you a long, slow look. And I'm gonna roll.
Ooh.
That's an 11.
Ah.
What is your deepest secret fear?
Um, you see Olin in a medical ward, and it's clean. It's not here. It's not Jakku. And there are hundreds of bodies coming in through the from the ambulance bay, just gurney after gurney. And safety and roller. And you see a narco stick fall from his arm as you realize that he is suddenly caught off guard. He was trying to take a break to ease his mind, but now he has to be a doctor.
Meaning that he was an addict or
Yeah.
close to it. Yeah.
That's
What
why it's there,
unfinished-
safety and roller. Okay.
What unfinished business do you have, and with whom? And if there isn't any, you can just say there isn't any.
No, it's a shot of my brother leaving home, and a relationship unfulfilled.
How can I get you to come with us?
Oh.
Because instinct tells me that that's what I want to do.
Go with you and the constable?
Yes. No.
I'm open to ideas if you have one.
How about tell you one of your secrets?
Ooh.
Would that intrigue you enough to want to know, to want to understand more?
Tell me one of the constable's secrets.
Maybe I will, but his are not as juicy as yours. I say
I will come with you if you
I-
assure me that you won't harm anyone.
I say to you, you should come with us to make sure no one gets hurt.
Of course.
And I touch your wrist and I say, only loud enough for you to hear. Addiction's a terrible thing. You must bear a great burden. In a completely sympathetic tone.
You see Alan's eyes are wide just for the
And then
briefest of seconds.
and then we go on. And then now we have to go. And I urge the constable on.
Okay. Well, neat. I realized that in my haste to get things moving, we have yet to take a break. I think we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we will pick back up in pitched battle with Raro rolling well this time. See you guys at 5. We're back, and now we're going to talk to Raro. Things are not going well, but hope. There's hope as your two guardians, your fellows, who you may not love, but the three of you are bound to protect this assault craft. They come running out, see what's going on, and Raro, I just want to know, when you see them, what's your what goes through your mind? Are you excited about their arrival, thankful for their potential help?
I think he's just embarrassed.
Oh,
Given the way things have been, I think he's just embarrassed because he called them weak, and here he is, and he's not, to be fair, they'd be dead while he's just kind of beaten up. Uh, but
yes, this is a true statement.
but it still stings that he is in a situation where assistance is probably necessary. He doesn't he will work in a team because that's what the job requires. But he doesn't like feeling like he needs help. At least not when he's down, or at least not with these people, apparently.
Exactly. Draft looks at you and he says, Tix, go on, help Asa. And Tix takes off. I imagine you guys had to have some kind of a vehicle, maybe not a great
sure.
one, but well, no, I don't know if Asa, because Asa walked out to there, so you probably don't have a vehicle. Yeah, so he's just going to run in the direction of where Asa called for help, and it's just Draft, the guy with the sunburn, who pulls up his. Looking at the weapons, I think they're just to harm. So he probably's got a blaster pistol. That's it. And you're facing off with Draft's assistance. You're facing off against 2 swoop bikers and a sniper. The swoop bikers again disappeared over the dunes. Draft says, "Hey, get back in here. We could defend it from in here."
I'm a better fighter, closer in the battlefield.
Well, I don't think they're going to come in close.
We'll see. And so I think he will back up a little towards him and start pulling out the stuff for his own sniper.
Meanwhile, Draft has the hatch to the assault vehicle, and he's kind of hiding behind it, and you hear them zooming around. I think they went around the assault craft, and you have a feeling, Raro, being a tactician that you are, that these swoop bikers are trying to draw your attention so that the sniper can get a shot on you again.
Yeah. Yep. Which is not what I'd like to see. So I am personally going to try to go for this sniper with my own sniping.
Sweet. I think it's a mono-a-mono thing. I think that's interesting to me. Are we do battle? I think it's just do battle. I think we have to do battle. We gotta. Yeah.
9.
Sweet. I hold 2. You hold 3. Let me.
I hold 4. I believe. I think. Or, sorry, wait, no.
10 plus you hold 4.
But I get a +1 as a tactician.
A +1 hold. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's right. Because you spent the last one retroactively in chat. You said, oh, yeah, I would have done that to get
Yeah.
defensively to suffer a lesser harm, which totally is fine with me. If you remember, they seized initiative, so they have +1 hold into the next round. So they
Mhm.
go from 2 to 3, and you have 4. So
Mhm.
let's see. What are they doing? Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I think I'm going to spend two on siege initiative, one on blood, and one on defense.
Okay. And there are my choices. One for fight opportunistically, which means they not only will harm Raro, but also Draft. Um, Draft with his beat red shoulders, which will carry the weight of Jakku for a moment. And they're fighting for blood, which means that they are going to lay some waste here. Sweet. Okay. What were your spins again?
Uh, Mine was one for blood, one for defense, and then two for siege initiative.
Just so we're clear, the Cease Initiative, you see the options that it gives you. It can take +1 hold into the next round. You can ask or read a situation, um, and take a quick action of any kind for free. That's what you want. I just want to make sure that it's clear because this is a weird new thing we're doing.
I think so.
Okay, cool, cool. Then let's talk about your seize initiative actions because you're seizing initiative, which means you do it first.
Yeah. So for take let me know how you feel about this. For take a quick action of any kind for free while your enemy is off balance. I want to locate the sniper and know exactly what his position is.
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like reading a sitch question. Um, but also taking a quick action. Yes, you get a read, you catch that little glint again from their scope, right where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do that as a read a situation,
I
then that can
also
give you a
get to,
+1 against them if need be.
yeah, which I'll take. I'll take that +1.
Okay, cool. All right.
So
And then you are +1 blood to your normal harm. What weapon are you bringing to bear
this
here?
is the sniper. So this is 3 harm +1, so 4. This is my scoped sniper rifle.
Scope sniper rifle. There she is. 3 harm. So that goes up to 4. You are a gang. So that stays at 4. And 4 harm to an individual in NPC. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Harm. That would go 3, 6, 9, 10. Serious, potentially life-threatening medical attention to stabilize it. Unstable worsens with time. And that's just on PCs, and NPCs are a little less sturdy. So, um, you snap off this, you pull up, kind of quick scope the other guy as he's firing on you. I think it's one of those where the blaster bolts pass each other
They
in the
pass each
air.
other. Yeah.
But he disappears, falls back. He's out of the fight, probably dead. And then you would take harm. They are a 2 harm gang. They spent 4 blood, which was yeah, 1 for opportunistically, 2 for fight for blood, so a total of 4. You still have 2 armor, so that blaster bolt is what hits you, and it hurts. So you're going to take 4
I take
harm.
1 actually because I took
That's
negative.
right. You defensively, and also because you are a gang, I'm applying that defensively to your compatriot because this is gang on gang battle, kind of, sort of.
Mhm.
Um, which will save his life. He's not going to die, but he's going to get majorly messed up. And yeah, I only get 2 choices, except I held from. Yeah, sorry. You guys were talking about worked out all the stuff. I'm just now catching up on chat. Yeah, I did. I had +1 hold. Yep. Okay, sorry. Catching up. Look, you guys already resolved it. Okay, so 4 harm to 3 harm to 2 harm to 1 harm for defensively. So only 1 harm bleeds through. And it's the thing where I think you move just right and it glances off of your shoulder pauldron. I think it's one of those where it's going to be ruined. Maybe you need to get that replaced. I think that would be kind of fun and cool.
Yeah, this
if you get some battle
intimidating,
damage stuff.
specifically intimidating battle armor.
Yes. Cool. But you do take 1 harm, which will push you to 10 o'clock.
No, that pushed me to 9.
Oh, it pushed you to 9. You won't get worse, but you'll need help to heal. And go ahead and roll hopefully. Yeah, Olin can help you.
Yeah, I've got money. I've got lots of money for him.
So much money.
So I roll at a negative
-1.
-1?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the harm you just took. Each harm,
Oh.
it's not cumulative. Otherwise, it's going to be a really, really rough.
8.
Okay. 8 is better than a miss.
Better than I've been rolling, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I think. Ooh, here's what happens. Okay, cool. So they zoom around, but then when you and the sniper shoot at each other, one of the swoop bikers comes zooming over a dune, does the spray and pray, and rat-tat-tat-tat-tat hits and hurts Draft. Draft gets off a shot and wings them. They continue going and zoom over the dune, and then you hear them going further and further away. You just killed at least half of this little swoop bike gang. Perhaps they've cut their losses and run, but you lose track of them in the waste. Draft falls to a knee. He's been hit a couple times. You okay?
I'll be fine with some healing. Seeing a doctor yourself. So just to clarify, out of character, they left. They ditched. They didn't steal anything. They're gone.
They did not steal anything, and they have taken off. Right? There's a few tense moments of, is this another ruse? But eventually you realize, okay, I don't even hear their swoop bikes. I think they're way gone.
Cool. I look over. And you? And he's like acting so unfazed. Like there's like blood and like a tuft of fur like missing on the corner of his shoulder, but like expression.
A little.
Yeah.
I think Draft's looking at you with a little bit of amazement because you guys just both went through hell. He feels terrible. He's in rough shape, but alive, and you're trying to act like this is BNBD. He reaches in, pulls out like he quaffs some nog, a little metal thing that actually has a little bit of blaster scarring on it. And he doesn't even notice until it's leaking out that maybe that took some of the blaster bolts. So he tries to tilt it so that it doesn't all leak out. And he offers you his shot up flask for the probably last sip from it. What do you do?
That is a very generous offer, but I have lost a decent amount of blood, so I don't think intoxication is the right choice for me. If you wish to make that choice, that is valid.
He does.
I appreciate that. No, Rare wouldn't say that. Nope. Okay,
nope. Cool. He's going to try to get Olin on the comm. And that means we pick up with Olin. Olin, Daryi and your lovely and good at everything she does cousin, whose name is Yalsa. Yes,
Elsa.
you guys come into the constable's. It's like the security compound. It's an old Imperial garrison. Um, there are a pair of prison cells. There's a front office. I'm sorry. I'm just apologizing to you as Rich to all of you because my brain is now fixated on Mayberry RFD, and that's kind of what it looks like. So, couple of desks. Maybe there's a back office with storage, two cells that are visible from the front. Um, that is the general layout. There is a droid, a CZ-1G5, known as CZ, who is here in the area. They're not doing, maybe they're doing paperwork. They're standing inert when Constable Landry comes in. Come in, come in, come in. And he will close the door and lock it and like turn off the open or it's open. It's like a constable's office. Like how do you? No, he just locks the door. Um, maybe flicks a thing to where it dims. The windows would dim so you can't easily see in. You should be safe here. I've got some food in the back, a cot. Sometimes I sleep in the back, so you should be comfortable enough.
Constable, we need to get out of here. Whoever shot at me was, I think, one of the guards.
Whose guards? There are a lot of guards.
Nima's guards.
Oh my.
My family has a lot of dealings, and I think maybe someone had the idea that they could get back at what they thought was, a slight or something. I don't know. They didn't explain.
He also says they're extremely unreasonable. And
Please.
she's moving deeper into the constable's offices, like picking up various office implements and looking at them. Maybe she secrets one into a pocket of some kind.
Perhaps the Duchess will be a place where you could go. Certainly be safe from anything that Nemo may provide.
This is a secure compound by the order of the New Republic. I guarantee that you will be safe here, young lady. It's my job. And once I have you
But
secure, then I will go out and speak with Nima and resolve this issue.
I don't think Nima's going to be open to any resolution. And I recognize that we're safe here, but we can't stay here. We just can't. I have to get back to my family. We have to get back to our family.
We just got here, young lady. Let's
Please.
take a moment. Let's take a breath. Not every decision needs to be made instantaneously. I recommend you have a seat. You need something to eat, maybe something to drink. We're safe for right now. We'll talk about next steps once we have a chance to get a newer perspective.
Colin's going to take a look outside the windows.
Yeah, you should do that. Awesome. When you look outside the windows, you see that there are a half dozen rough-looking folk, blaster pistols. One of them has a vibro axe, a Gamorrean. Like a distant cousin of Cyberhand Gamorrean.
Hmm.
You recognize them from Nima's people.
I don't even have to read a sitch.
And you still can. You might get more info.
Yeah, it's Jakku. They could just be walking around.
They could be, but why don't you see if they are?
All right. I'll read a sitch. And I think this is all in like unlocking the door and walking out the front, right?
Oh,
Like,
oh, crap. Constable
Yeah.
Landry will react to that.
well, Constable Landry can shove it. All right. Read this sitch. That's a 13.
Wow, you know this sitch like the back of your hand. It's like you've gone through simulations in your head, multiple of them.
Uh, what should I be on the lookout for?
Crixus Tane, who is in our NPCs tab, is not standing with the group of thugs, but Crixus is there. And you should be on the lookout for Crixus because Crixus is a very good bounty hunter and very deadly.
Uh, uh, I lost track of it. Oh, there's. What is my best way in? What is my best way out with Dargi?
I like the idea that this place, this particular building, way out, way out, way out. You could get up onto the roof, call for some backup. Anyone that has a swoop gang or an ambulance or a skiff of some kind, or oh wait, that's not a very helpful answer. You guys keep crashing things.
uh, who represents my best opportunity to resolve this situation without bloodshed?
Nima could call them off
Hmm.
and would do so if she gets what she wants. You just don't know what she wants, right? All you know is Daryi told everybody, hey, Nima's guards are trying to kill me. Well, that doesn't seem exactly from your dealings with Nima. Nima has her guards kill people to get something she wants. That they don't just go out randomly killing folks. That's
Right.
crazy. It's bad for business. Does that make sense? Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, all right. I get a +1 when acting on the answers.
Yeah.
Alden looks back and sees Daryi like face in the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Um,
think the
when I
constable
meet,
locked the door behind you. Just so we're clear.
yeah, of course. When I meet someone important, this being this famous bounty hunter, Crixus Tane, they've heard of me. Roll plus cool. So that's a +3 for this now. Don't get any XP for this, but on a 10 plus, tell the MC what they've heard. There we go.
Dope.
Ah. 7 and 9 tell the MC what they've heard, and the MC tells you what they've also heard. Crixus Tane knows that I am Keltrazic's brother, and that if any harm comes to me, he will die.
Ooh, the Crixus Tane will come after him.
No, that Kel will kill Trick. If Crixus harms me in any way.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
said it wrong. I understood what you meant.
Yeah.
I just said it wrong. Okay, so the rep is if you mess with Allen, the big brother
If you mess with
come
Kel's
after
brother,
you.
if any Kel's family, Kel will kill you.
Mm. I think what Crix has also heard is that Kel is worlds away and mired in New Republic intelligence voodoo. So, though that may eventually come, it is not happening tomorrow.
Allen takes his stun pistol and just throws it on the desert sand in front of the constable's office. What does Nemo want today?
The cousin of soon-to-be cyber-handed Gamorrean will be the one who answers. He answers, Nima want the girl.
Nemo can't have girl.
Girl wants to work for Nima.
Why is
Stupid.
girl in constable's office?
Stupid. Stupid other tailhead steal her away.
Little girl under protection of New Republic.
Oh, you're confronting now. I mean, you're speaking for the Republic here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. The constable is stuck between, I should be out there, and also, I've never seen this in action. I read this about this, and I just want to know, does it actually work like it does in the books? This is so good.
I suppose I've already burned up my +1, right?
Did you?
Yeah.
During this interaction, by the way, I say to the constable, "You should be out there," and I shove him towards the door.
He steps out, like he'll have to unlock it, and yeah, he steps out, but he slides in behind you for a moment, Olin, and then when you say the under protection of New Republic, it's like oh yes, and then he steps beside you.
All right, here we go. Confront the Gamorreans.
And by the way, Brandon, if you want to use that as an excuse, if Colin needs it for help and rolling plus HX, that is a perfectly suitable way. If Greg agrees.
It's a 7. I would be interested in help just because I'm also interested in it being complicated. So
Sure. My access with you is 1, because it is with everybody I don't know all that well. And that's an 11.
Ah, cool.
fantastic.
So I like that. You get to roll 1 die. Do you guys mind this one? I love the I help, and now I get to add a die.
Yeah, like a
to choose your roll.
retroactive. Yeah,
Retroactive roll with
It
advantage.
keeps it a little risky too.
It's just a 2.
Okay, so it stays the same. You guys are mixed in it together. You do get 1 more HX with Olin,
Woo!
and you get to mark your help XP track thing.
Cool.
So, ooh, that was exactly what you needed to get an improvement.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you've left them some wiggle room, and they can try to escape, bargain with you, pass off responsibility, or divert you instead. And I think this Gamorrean, cousin of the one who will be cyber-handed soon, who I should name, and will do so by next session. Do I have names for Gamorreans? Do I? Did I think that far ahead? I did not. What the hell's wrong with me? Okay. Sticking Gamorreans into the thing. Note to self. He says, nothing for a moment, and then he looks back at Crix. Crixus Tane. And Crixus does this just real subtle, just little like that. The Gamorrean points at you angrily. There's a good 5-6 feet away. He says, "1 constable dead. Maybe 2. and then they turn to walk off. And as they're striding away, dust, well, sand kicking up, Constable Landry leans forward to whisper, "What did he say? I don't speak Gamorrean. They don't really come to our planet."
Said you're gonna die. Olin picks up his stun blaster off the sand.
I appear behind the constable's shoulder at this point. Now, do you see why we have to get out?
Listen,
They'll be back, and next time they're not going to talk.
in the Alderanian rules of conflict, it is best to find a secure place and think through options.
Okay, you've done that. You have discovered that
I don't
they're
feel
going
that we
to be
fully
back.
explored all of the options, young one.
Okay,
And I really think you should go back inside where it is safe. We've bought ourselves a few moments to reconsider all of our options. I don't think, Mr. Trazik, Dr. Trazik, thank you again for helping to negotiate that stressful situation. Daryi, help me understand how to help you. You're suggesting leaving. Are you suggesting going to Crater Town, Boomtown? Do you have
what's my sense?
what's your sense?
What's my sense of the best bolt hole out of here
Oh,
to
get back to your
reconnoiter?
family, but then that just strikes trouble to your family.
Yeah. So what's a neutral spot I could regroup in?
Aza and her little community would probably be enough off the beaten path. They move a lot. Other options, you could probably hide out at Crater Town. It's far enough away where Nima doesn't have any influence. She'd have
Yeah.
to pay people to make the trip if she cares that much about
So
getting
no,
you.
I'll take the first option. The Starbreaker camp.
Oh,
Nima's not gonna want to mix with them too easily.
I'll take it from here, Constable. I've been meaning to talk to Aza for a bit.
You've done your job. Thank you. I couldn't have gotten out without you.
And he lowers himself down to one knee and he puts his hands on your shoulders, which is his attempt to like get on your level,
Mhm.
but also feels a little condescending, even though he doesn't intend to.
I'm used to this.
And he will speak in real. I hope that the desert brings you flowers.
I bow my head a little bit and put my hand on his hand and say, thank you. My most grateful voice.
And he looks to you all and says, if
it's a complete act.
he buys it, he's like, "Oh man, I've really helped someone today." He's gonna
Yes,
write that in
yes,
his
no,
journal, guys.
I'm giving him all the ego stroke I can possibly give.
He stands up and he looks at you all and thank you for your assistance, Dr. Trazik. If there's anything else I can do, please let me know. Also, if you want to fill out that report about the accident, anytime.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do your job anytime. And I take Daryi's hand.
His mouth opens like, wait,
Okay, Doc, let's go. Thank you again. I turn and look over my shoulder. Thank you.
Yalsa
Thank you
comes
again.
out. Oh, so thank you so much for helping us. You're so wonderful.
Come on, cuz. We better
Okay,
get going.
I agree. We should go. Thank you so much. Blessings upon you, Constable. And then you guys will be heading to Aza Starbreaker. She reaches into one of her pockets and pulls out some kind of space compass you've never seen her with before. She starts kind of fiddling with it. I think that's where we end
And
this
I look to
session.
Elsa and, the end of the scene. I look to Elsa and I say, I have a million questions. Yes. And that's it.
Awesome. Cool. At the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. And unless there's nobody, then you choose someone who knows you less than they used to. So we'll start with Raro. Who knows you better than they used to? PC, because of course draft knows you better. That doesn't count.
I think Aza is going to know me, like, because her people have like witnessed this now, like her guards, one of which was running off to go like see her. So if you will allow me that slight ledge, I think Aza will know me better.
Okay. Then you add one. Well, I'll do it. So nobody has to worry about touching somebody else's character keeper stuff. So that gets you to a +3. Wow. So close. Cool. I'll ask Undesh later. So let's go to Steven. Who knows Moz better?
Olin knows Moss better.
Nice.
Yes. And then I apologize. I mark +1
You mark with +1 on your sheet with Moz.
with
Moz is
Got it.
saying, you know me
Yep.
better. You can help me or interfere with me better than before. So we'll just go to Olin, who knows you better.
Darye knows me better. Darye knows me better than anybody else.
Yes. She just met you and she knows you better than anyone else does, which is a thing.
That's great. Let's see. So did everyone do the know better? I think so, yes.
No,
I did.
I haven't.
Oh, sorry. Darye,
All
who
in
knows
for
you better?
certain.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll stick with you for the last two questions, Brandon. For Darye, are you satisfied with your place in the galaxy?
The world revolves around me.
So you're satisfied. Okay.
I mean, not the whole world, but a lot of it. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, if you're cool, you take it easy until something changes. Judge for yourself. Does your scavenge choice still hold true?
Absolutely.
Okay, mark one improvement. Which you had an advance to take, if I remember correctly. So
I did.
did you take it yet, or did you just mark
did.
you?
I did. I haven't used it, but I took it.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Excellent. So let's go to Olin. Are you satisfied with your place in the galaxy?
I will be once I offload this kid on Aza, so no.
You think?
Cool. If you're not, mark one improvement. And then does your scavenge still hold true? You changed it last time. Does it hold true
I
now?
did, this might be something you and I want to talk about. I don't think there's that big of a difference between the two scavenge options. So,
Alternatively, if it doesn't feel like that scavenge option holds true, there is a little out clause in the rules of work with the MC to come up with a scavenge option that best fits your character, and I'm happy to do that.
okay. So I guess the answer is no, and then I'll come up with something and throw it towards you.
Okay. Cool. Then let's go to Raro. Are you satisfied with your place in the galaxy?
Yeah. Everything's good. I did my job, filling my contract. Might even have some worthwhile ideas about what to spend money on.
You've got several units of blood still inside you.
Yeah. Honestly, just things are
Really
moseying along.
surprised by that answer, but I'll take it. Cool. And then does your scavenge still hold true?
Of course.
Cool. And then Maz, are you satisfied with your place in the galaxy? Hey, you're back in your ship.
No, I'm not.
Mark an
awful.
improvement.
Yeah, okay.
And then does your scavenge choice still hold true?
My scavenge choice is all messed up. I don't think I'll change it because there's no way to go lower.
Hmm.
But yeah. I mean, my scavenge choice is all about my venue.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think for this next session, we'll pick up with Ava moving out of being hunkered down in the skiff. We may do a flashback to a scene with Maz and Ava when you're back in subsequent or future sessions, because I think the two of you spending the night hiding out in a skiff sounds kind of fun for a role-playing opportunity, but we'll save that for future. No worries. Cool. I'll stick then we'll go to stars and wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who has wishes?
I have an eventual wish.
Yeah, what's that?
A scene with Olin. I think I need to get healed, and I finally have something to spend some money on. So I think that's some good choice there. Yeah, I think that, and I'll also be missing, so next round. So get up to some fun stuff while I'm away. I can't wait to see what I will have to deal with in return.
Sweet. Love it. Who's next with wishes?
I'll go with a wish, which is I'd like to roll one of my moves, which is fingers in every pie,
Oh, right. Yes, let's do that. Yes, yes.
to put the word out about getting a new venue. And I think the way this looks on screen is I'm just, telling the two wastelanders that are there
Mm-hmm.
and Asa, I need a new ship. This isn't going to cut it, right? And the roll looks like that's an 8. And an 8 on that roll is your people make an effort and everybody wants to please you and close is close, right? So on a 10 plus, it just happens. On a miss, it shows up, but there are strings attached. So this is close.
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, this is me checking in with you. You want something other than the skiff that was before as a new venue?
I think that this one was damaged enough by the Raftar that, again, it's Jakku, right? Everything's scavenged. And we're going to, they're going to scavenge the parts out of this and then trade and compensation. It will end up being the something new. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If that's
And
good.
feel free, we can like email back and forth ideas, that kind of stuff. That would be fun. New menu, cleaner dishes. Cool. Thank you, Stephen. And thanks for reminding me about the fingers in a pie rolling it so we could do that. Cool. So, uh, Brandon or Greg, who do you have wishes?
I would like to see a time skip a little bit sort of next session. So maybe like a little bit of that Maz in the thing, and then we time skip. Maybe a little bit of all in offloading Daryi to Aza. I don't know. Who's in next session?
We do not have Maz. We do not have Rero, but we do
Okay.
have
We have Zola and okay. And Aza. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit of a time skip. And because I think he's such a piece of shit, I would like to see Lieutenant Dang Walden and I have some form of confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did just invoke the name of the New Republic and probably get in trouble with the Huts. So,
Yeah. And Walden's going to be like, not sure why you decided to bring this down on us. We had everything this way equilibrium. I do not understand. It's a bad choice here. You can't just track on your brother's name and think that people are going to fall all over themselves. Brandon, do you have any wishes before I role play the feature
I
session?
do. I have a wish, and please take this tongue in cheek. I get the names right. I want to bend all into my will.
That's not scary.
Well, I want to put my hooks into him, and he interests me, and I I want him. I want to somehow get him as an ally.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So, it's if you think that's fun, Greg.
Okay. Do you want to have wishes?
Sorry, Greg, you were muted.
Oh, no, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Stars. Stars. I should not ask for wishes 2 times in a row because that's not what I meant to ask for. Instead, I will ask if anyone has any stars they wanted to hand out for cool moments as we bring things to a close.
Go ahead, Brandon.
No, please.
Start of Brandon. I liked Daryi immediately reading the constable and just yeah, I love the brain picker. It's such a fun little playbook, and Daryi is a good creepy little weirdo. Um, and yeah, the fight with Raro, that was fun, and I learned a lot about the doing battle move, so I feel like I can be more dangerous with it. God forbid, Alin has to do it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
There's a
Yeah, I
part
love
of me
the
that likes the do battle move. I'm sorry, I talked over you, Brian. Let me
no,
finish this
go ahead.
little thought. There's a part of me that likes the do battle move for larger scale conflict, but misses the just like two people in a fight and you go a little bit back and forth. It takes it into an abstract and also slows it down with a tactical that I think worked for that scene for Raro. But if say, well, we don't have a whole lot of, we just have one warrior. It's just Raro. But if Raro got into a one-on-one with Crixus, I would rather not see a do battle there. So just a thought I had. Brandon, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that I loved the interactions with the constable. You know, this good guy who was trying to do too good, and it was because it was like I can't screw him. It's like I need to get him to do what I want, but I can't absolutely hose him the way I would, somebody who was less likable.
Yay! I'm glad he's likable. I was trying real hard to play somebody who
It's like Darye's not heartless.
good.
She's a user, but but there are limits.
Beautiful. I'm glad to know there are limits.
And that was wonderful. And yeah, and Olin's intervention, just like immediate intervention without asking any questions. And it's like, okay, you and I need to get to know each other.
Meanwhile, the constable's like, "Oh, this is very interesting. Oh, okay, all right, I can
I
learn from this. Yeah,
I
this
think
is good."
Darye loves people whose impulse is to help because they can be led by the nose.
It's true. Okay, did you have any stars you wanted to hand out?
Yes, I did. First of all, a star to the dice for making the story interesting. Everyone who was here for previous sessions, I don't think you were here for Brandon, but last session, I don't think I like rolled under a 10. Like, and it's just been, and you were there when Raro rode really well like to start. So it's just been Raro's good day up until now. So I appreciate the dice messing with that plan a little. And now he has things to spend money on, which means he doesn't have to have a self-reflection crisis about what he might enjoy or actually want in his life. So yay. Star also to Stephen, never in a million years would I have guessed that Maz would have stuck around. Really appreciated that. Also star Greg. I love the Cal angle, especially I believe I played with Cal once and our characters had a weird romance thing at one point, or like at least friends with benefits thing. And so it's very fun to see this like sibling and character. And I also just love the description you have for Allen, which like I think is just your little tagline. I think that is a really fun little bit of minutia there for him. Darye's great. Brandon, I she's such a hoot, and part of me is both terrified and excited on the chance of when she and Rara will meet, because I feel like
Yeah.
they are just like opposite of angles to each other, and it would be either so good or so disastrous. And I think either will be fun. And then Rich, hell yeah, for not holding any punches. You were like, railroads are rolling poorly now. I'ma fuck you up. And I appreciate that, because usually sometimes I'm a baby about my characters, my little princelings I usually play. And so it's fun to play someone who's a little more rough and tumble and to get fucked up.
Yeah, no triumph without disaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am a
Exactly.
fan of Raro for sure. For
Oh,
sure.
thank you.
That's why you have to take it to them.
I play hard with my favorite toys.
No.
Steven, did you have any stars?
I do. I mean, the whole session was very good. It was very thematic and, movie-esque, with the kind of the chase going on back in the town, ending up with the holding up with the constable, and then the fights going on simultaneously out in the desert. Everything was great. I'm going to point out something mechanically. There is a lot of moving parts, to all the different moves, like, do battle and all that kind of stuff. And my playbook, the proprietor, has some moving parts about once and what's the other one? Wealth, and it's always something whenever your establishments once come into play. So I was taking a look at the once, and it says that move says, if your venue's want comes into play, and you suffer the after effects, then mark it out and choose another one. So far, inadvertently, we have gone through the disaster, right? The depleted stores, right? And the -1 barter. So right now, I have repairs and drama that are left on the list, right? And just inadvertently through play, we did exactly what the rule said, which was kudos to you, Rich, right?
Yay!
Yeah.
That's really cool.
There's a lot of moving parts with like some of these different playbooks and different things. So it's nice whenever we, do it correctly. Yeah. Do it as intended. Yeah.
Nice. But, we can't guarantee that's how it'll go.
Right.
We just stumble into it sometimes. Sweet. Let's see. Any last stars folks would like to hand out before we bring it to a close? Don't feel like you have to. I just didn't want to step over anybody's stars if they were holding on. Okay. Oh, Greg unmuted.
Not just a star, but I wanted to call out. I did find a suitable other playbook move, in the Stitcher, which is a part of that the zine that Elliot Baker made. Take a look at it.
Oh.
Let me know what you think. It's essentially the Scully from X-Files autopsy move.
What?
And I haven't
Bones to
taken it
Dust,
yet,
two
but
playbooks.
I love the flag it puts out there. So
What's the name of the move?
it's called Research Purposes. When you spend time studying a dead or dying thing, you may use it for augury. Roll plus sharp instead of weird. So it would give me augury if
That's cool.
there's dead bodies.
Oh,
So,
there it is. Oh, they organized the moves differently, and I kept looking past it.
yeah,
I see it
that's
now.
weird.
Oh, that's a wish too, by the way, Rich. If I can toss in another, which is that I want to do an augury next session.
Augury. Okay, let's stick that in.
Because at this point it's like I'm not sure what to do. Daria's not sure what to do, and so her natural instinct would be to ask the universe.
Awesome.
Which is not
Okay,
the
thanks
not
everybody.
the safest thing in the world.
We'll bring this to a close. Thank you all so much for playing.